What's going on, workforce? Brian here, and it's been a week, so let's talk about this week in gaming. So there's been a lot of news regarding Final Fantasy, and I covered some of that on Friday, and then there's been some great discussion we've been having on those videos. I'd highly recommend you check those out if you haven't already. And thanks so much for all your wonderful comments. There's just going to be a lot of news going forward with that. So obviously this series is going to be focused on just kind of the smaller stories, things that you might not have noticed went on throughout the week. And so there's just got a couple quick stories here for you today, and hopefully you find them as enjoyable as I did. So there's been some studies that have come out, and one of those studies essentially is talking about how playing games like World of Warcraft and online video games can make you a better employee. And so these studies are going to hopefully help re-engineer some of the expectation that companies and businesses have on their employees. So you might be getting asked, what kind of games do you play in your next interview based off of this? So the reasonings they give basically boil down to being able to communicate online, being tech savvy, being on a virtual team working towards a goal. And these are all very positive. And so you're going to find the links to all this in the descriptions below. But then there's also a counter one, but done by Men's Health, that basically is saying, well, people who are unemployed tend to play more video games, and kind of trying to infer that the connection is that video games cause you to be unemployed. But then when you actually dive in and read the article itself, it basically then just kind of counteracts its own premise in the title and says, the study hasn't actually been tested and restudied, and basically the tenets in which that you want to do a study. So they really found no evidence that playing video games make you unemployed. But it's a really interesting contrast to obviously the first stories that I covered. Again, all that's going to be in the description below. So do you guys like merch booths? Do you like them in your video games? Well, they might be coming sooner than we all realize. It looks like there is a Unity plugin that will allow people to be able to buy physical merchandise from their games without ever having to leave the game, and they're looking at trying to bring that to more games. Now, I don't see this obviously having any kind of impact in our day-to-day video game lives, but mobile could be a huge market for this, and merchandise has always been a huge market for video games. Imagine just being able to order a shirt or some kind of in-game item sent to you in the real world to kind of have as memorabilia. You could even link it to achievements and all kinds of other interesting things. But I'd love to know your thoughts on this. I'm not necessarily sold. I don't need another reason to spend money on video games, but that's just me, and I'd love to know what you think. So this is really cool. I found this one interesting. So Stevens College is fielding an all-women's esport Overwatch varsity team as a part of their fall sports program. This seems really interesting, and it seems that we're going to be seeing more and more I guess universities and various kind of sports organizations continue to move into this esports, I guess arena, etc. So all in all, I found this to be really, really interesting and exciting, and I'm actually kind of interested to see how this continues to move forward. Overwatch is a phenomenal game, very great with competition, really fits well within the esport kind of montage, something that I've definitely enjoyed playing and actually getting to watch. Anyway, I'd love to know your thoughts on this, and you can read the full story below. So there's this game, and it's called Let It Die. And one of the things I guess that you could kind of attribute to this just interesting piece of this game is that the director got 100 Japanese bands to write music for the soundtrack to this game. And it's not necessarily this big AAA game. It's really just this kind of this small, almost indie project, but all these bands contributed writing their own unique music. Basically, he was saying that he was interested in it because he wanted to really introduce these bands that he really loved to, I guess, a broader world. And essentially he's done that. So you can check the link. They've got some of the music posted, some of the music videos from the soundtrack, and these bands are really quite good. And I thought you might enjoy that. To coordinate that many bands to write unique and original content, not like how we have it in most games where we'll license existing songs to bring into a game, but they wrote unique songs for this game. And it's really, I can't say how impressive it is enough. It's hard enough to get like 5 people to do anything, but 100 bands with, multiple, contracts and all those things that just had to happen to make sure this would work, coming together and getting it done. I think that's pretty cool. Do you like Netflix? Well, pretty much the answer is equivocally yes. A lot of people love that platform. Obviously, Phil Spencer and Xbox announced earlier this year talking about their games with gold. They have this premium service that's going to offer games that are going to rotate in and out, talking about 100 games for the Xbox One to be able to be played. And in that vein, I even kind of commented that this is seeming like a Netflix for games model. And so this week, Phil Spencer kind of doubled down on that, talking about the benefits of that, trying to, probably, I guess, build hype and rally support and hopefully continue to get developers excited about it, especially those who make those seasonal type content, like especially the Telltale games and all those series. Do you think the industry is ready for it? Do you think if this is successful that others will follow suit? I'd love to know your thoughts on if games are ready kind of for a Netflix model. Pixels become nightmares in this collection of terrifying video game glitches. You really should check out this video. It really highlights some of just the chaos and things that can go wrong, especially when writing video games. But that wraps it up for me and This Week in Gaming. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about this or any of our other stories. Also, feel free to let us know if there's any video game stories out there that you don't feel is getting enough coverage and you'd like maybe my opinion on. I'd like to give it at least a read and give my thoughts on it and share it with you guys as well. So, my name's Brian and this is Work the Game. Thanks so much for watching this video and I hope to see you in my next. But until then, I hope you have a fantastic week. Take care.
Thanks for watching. YouTube has a pretty cool video waiting for you over here. Our latest vlog is down below. For those of you new, subscribe is over here. And all of our other contact info is just right below me here. Thanks for watching.